inside. You got the pest control guy here. Get back inside. Nice chilly winter day here in Central Valley, California. So, since I have a little bit of free time this morning, what I'm thinking about doing is doing a let's do a how to list something on eBay. So let's say you already opened up your store and you need to figure out, this is your first time, you don't know how to list a product. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you through. Okay, I haven't sold any camera gear in a while, and my dad gave it for free, and I've been tasked for selling it on eBay. So we're going to sell this camera lens. Okay, so first thing I need is my workflow is pretty simple. I have the eBay app on my phone. I have eBay on my computer, and I essentially split my listings process for getting everything up online into 2 simple steps. The first part is picking your item, okay? This is where, before you actually get pictures picked, you want to research what you want, figure out what price you need it. If you're trying to flip something, this is where you're trying to get deals, source everything. We're talking about, I have the item here, and so I already have my item selected. You know, I have a garage full of, let's say, junk I want to get through, and I want to just start getting it out the door, and I think it's some value. So we're going to pick items and list it. So first item is, you got to pick your item, okay? Next thing you want to do, I use the eBay phone app on my iPhone, and what I essentially do is, I have everything set in Spanish. I need to change that. Okay, blue button. Right now it's in Spanish, okay? Don't mind that, right? What it essentially says, to translate you, is it's asking you if you would like to list something. You're going to hit that, okay? And if you don't see that, this is the main screen. This is your seller icon on the bottom, okay? So you have your home for shopping, your profile, okay? If you're looking for items to buy, you have your search function, random notifications if you've saved anything, whether you're selling or you've saved an item, okay? on your list, it'll notify you if the seller's getting any deals, okay? So notifications is kind of helpful if you're a purchaser, okay? You want to figure out when stuff's going to go on sale, okay? The last little icon, the one on the far right, is your seller options, okay? So from the phone option, this is your sales hub, okay? These are pre-existing listings right there, and then you can't really see it in detail, analytics and offers, search, and notifications, communications, okay? This is my funds. I have a negative, or I have $9. I just made a sale recently, but I was like a negative balance, so I have very little change right there. Eventually that will go down to 0 because eBay pays me every day when I have sales. And then on the top is your listings, how the estimated value of what you've sold in the last 90 days. So I've made like $600 in the last 90 days. The number of listings I have. So if I can't really zoom in right here, but it's telling me I have 190 active listings, and I've made 17 sales in the course of the 90 days. And then I have one thing that is not active listing. So the one item I need to get relisted. Okay. Okay, so if you want it, once I have my item, my camera lens right here, okay, you're going to hit the blue button. It's going to pull up this menu, okay? First step is you want to, on the top, search the item, okay? And this is where you want to, what I do is I go to the information on the actual product, okay? If it's, let's say, this random thing, okay? I will type in that title right here with that manufacturer in the search, and someone may have already listed it. So it'll give you pre-examples, right? If it's not, you just go through making the listing, okay? So what I'm gonna search for is Nikon off the camera. So I'm looking for I'm gonna type in whatever that says. I know it's blurry right now because it's focusing on my face. We're gonna type in Nikon, Nikkor 1:4 90941, okay? Why is that all important? That's the model number, okay? You wanna give them the model number, okay? So what I'm going to do is Nikon lens, actually just Nikkor right off the box. Don't even, Nikkor. $200mm. One Tech 4. There we go. See what that pulls up. And what that shows is, if you look at the listings that popped up, okay, number 3 right here is actually the same image, okay? What I like to do is I like to verify that it's the most similar, okay? And why I pick one of the pre-rendered listings. This is eBay giving you the historical listing methodologies of how other people in the past. eBay's been around for, 20 years. I've been shopping on it since I've been in my teens. I'm 37 years old today. So you have 20 records of people selling online, 20 years of records of people selling online, giving you all the stuff from their garage to sell, okay? So use them as a reference, use their methodologies, okay? So first thing online, can't really see it again, zooming in, all right, right there on the top, I'm showing you, I know you can't read it, follow with me please, right there on the top, take photos, okay? That's always my first step, Okay, so I'm going to go to my camera. Okay. As a seller, I have a pretty high rating. Okay, I think I have a 98 point something-ish positive reviews on all my reviews. And the way I get that is I'm brutally honest with the products I'm selling. The way I think of it as a seller is, think of it like the ocean, okay? You have big whales, you have little krill, you have all the microorganisms. The world is like that ecosystem, right? So when you're trading something, someone may find value in what you have, but you have to be honest in the way you list it and you price it and you tell people about it. So I'm always brutally honest with what it is. So this is a used lens, okay? So it's out of the box, it's in the used condition. So when I categorize it, I put it in the used state, and then you can always go layers lower, right? 4 parts, completely wrecked, like new, or brand new out of the box with the label. There's all these different tiers of newness, okay? So this is a used lens. I have no idea how well it is, so it looks clean, okay? I don't hear any shaking. The cap is rattling, okay? Just because that's the way caps work, right? Nothing seems broken about this item. It looks in pristine, well-managed condition. It's just out of the box and it may be old, okay? So that's how we're going to list it, okay? When it comes to categorizing it. Now, remember we go back, the first step was pictures, okay? So I just start snapping away pictures. And like I said, I'm brutally honest. So I take pictures of everything. For this item, so think of it like a 3-dimensional object, okay? If it's 2-dimensional, take pictures 2-dimensionally. So if it's like a paper of something or a book, take the picture of the top, the bottom, the sides, all the sides. 3-dimensional space, okay? So for this is a circular cylinder, so we're going to take pictures of everything that we're going to offer the seller. So the caps, the labeling, the sides, the lens, the inside of the lens, the under the cap, the condition of the cap, okay? And this allows people to thoroughly see the product and what you're offering. This is a used item. Here's what you're getting. Here's the offering price I'm giving you at. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to start snapping pictures away, and I'm going to take 6 axis, right? Top, bottom, left, right, front, and center, in, and then any defaults. I'm going to zoom in on the defaults. Okay, so I'm going to try to find defaults, and also zoom in on the labeling. Okay, people like to know this. And then if you have any specialty item, I offer in my description, hey, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I know from experienced cameras, people like to see the lens quality. Okay, they want to see the clarity, the pictures. So if you're a little bit of experienced seller, or if you have a niche of things and you know what people like about these things, make sure you take pictures of that to show the fault. Hey, if you have a particular interest in this, showcase that you're familiar with that, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna snap pictures. So I'll put you down here. Okay. So my first picture is always just the generalized front shot, okay? Give them as much as you can on that first one because you wanna get people in, okay? So I'm gonna make sure I can showcase the lens, the labeling, and as much of the quality as possible. I'm gonna wipe off my camera lens. And I'm gonna try to get this thing down so you can see me. And on eBay, you can take upwards to, I think, like 12 to 14 images. So don't be shy about how many images you take, right? A lot of people get lazy, take 1 or 2 pictures. When people are shopping around for used items, they wanna see the item. Okay, they don't care about the description. They don't care about all those fancy little how you categorize it. They want to see what they're getting, and the best way for them is to get as many visual images as you can. So here's the front. Roll it around. Here's the back. Keep it in frame. Top. Zoomed in. Bottom. Zoomed in. Okay. And then I like to do a little bit of twisting. There's a little scratch right here, so we're going to zoom into that scratch. Okay, twist it around so people can see the quality. Since there is a default, I'm not just straight shotting, I'm twisting it around so people can see the quality of the material. Okay, some parts about the nomenclature. I'm at image 9. Correction, I was wrong. Not just 12 images, up to 24 images on a listing. So you can take 24, I'm at 9. So if I wanted to be a good salesman, I would take as much as possible, okay? So here's the lens. And if things are dirty, just give it a wipe down. Doesn't have to be pretty, but people do want to see that it's clean-ish. So there's the lens. And like I said, for camera gear, people like to see the quality of the lens, so I'm going to try and take as much back and forth images. Like I see some dust in there, and what I think is going on is this a lens cap, and it's going to confuse the people. So now I've taken off the lens cap, I've taken off the cover or the filter, and now I'm going to wipe that down because, like I said, people want to see the quality. So there's a little bit of dust, and I know someone would raise concerns about dust. From an image, they'd say, hey, is the glass broken? Is it foggy? Is there good clarity? Is there debris inside the glass? This is referred, from camera people, they refer to this as the glass. So I want to showcase that this is clean, so I'm going to wipe that down. Okay, reattach that, reattach, flip it over, same thing, open the cover, snap some pictures. I'm at 16 now. Use your light. There we go. Okay. So I got 20 pictures. Hey, look at me. Camera, where are you going? Where are you looking? Where are you looking, camera? To the sky? Why? All right, so I got 20 pictures on this. So, as you can see here, my entire camera roll, bunch of them. Okay, next function. You want to go to list. Okay, so now the next phase is all the key details. And remember how I said I do two parts, one part on the camera, another part on my computer. So now I have pictures. What I like to do is at this point, I like to put in a price because I'm going to show you a little trick that I do. So let me find the price somewhere after shipping or right before shipping, pre-go, there we go. We're going to add in, I'm going to say $1. And then save. I got a price for $1. Okay. And then we're going to hit the third button. Okay, that's save. Okay, so now I have a listing right there under my saved. Okay, it's draft listing, it's not live yet. Okay, why'd I do that? Part of the workflow I did is when as a seller, I would be purchasing everything in bulk. Okay, so I get a lot of items all at the same time. And so what I like to do is open everything, get it all arranged, okay? And then one by one, let's say you got a stack of, like for instance, I would get like a batch of video games, okay, in the mail. And I'm gonna resell them and flip them for a profit. So instead of going one at a time, creating every single listing and going live, I would batch everything together. So I would open up all the packaging, clean, inspect, organize, price everything at that point, or get an idea of how much I want to price it for. And then start the listing process, start snapping pictures, pause, then go to the computer, start doing individual listings and getting everything live. So that's why I split it in half, is just to batch everything. But for this process, for this one beginners or new to eBay people, I'm showing the split process of one individual listing. Okay, so now I don't even need this anymore. Okay, I can put this in storage. I have my pictures. Now everything is handled all online at this point. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this lens in storage since it's about to be listed live. Put these with that. Okay. All right. So camera lens is now in storage with the rest. We're going in online. I'm going to pause the video here because what I'm going to do next is do a screen share so you guys can actually see what it is I have going on. So before I close out, I'm just came out of my kind of packaging space for eBay and online sales and stuff like that. That's my storage area for online sales. So I'll be right back. For you guys, it'll be 1 millisecond. All right. I think we are live on screen recording. Nope, nope, no, no. Dummy, just close that. All right, so I got, so right now I am at my seller hub. Okay, so here's my seller hub on my eBay. And I think I've done a video already kind of familiarizing people with this page. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to our listings tab, which is found right here on the top. Okay, we're going to go to drafts. Remember how I saved it? Okay, and here it is right here for those following along. We're going to resume draft. Okay, so I did one part on my phone, now we're at the computer. And the reason I do this is for this fancy doohickey process. We're going to ask ChatGPT, and then what I'm going to do is we're going to one of my GPTs that I built, and we're going to find, who is it, Daniel? It's not Daniel, it's Calvin. Calvin is a GBT. Calvin is a GBT that I built for my pricing strategies on eBay. Okay, so he has some specialty quirks. Okay, so for those, okay, he has in his specialty instructions, after I kind of started everything online, I built Calvin. Okay, and what his job is to think of listing price, the cost of goods, the profit margin targets we're hitting, and then think of the fee rate that eBay is going to charge. And the way I built him is I just did the math. Okay, I compiled a bunch of sales, right? I took a bunch of losses online, And then I started looking at my numbers, okay? And then I started compiling the data set of how much eBay is charging me for each sale, how much the tax percentage is on each sale. And then I figured out, okay, if I have a cost of goods price, okay, here's my target profit margin, okay? I built a custom formula, and then I programmed this GBT to think about the profit margin goal. So our profit margin for this product is 40%, okay? That's on top of eBay's 25% take, 10% sales tax and things like that, okay? So as a potential lister, think about that. So if you're looking to hit a price target, think eBay's going to take a cut for listing your item online. There's going to be a shipping and handling charge. Push that to the buyer. And then there's going to be a sales tax. So Uncle Sam's going to get their cut too. So if you're looking to, again, make a profit on it, you've purchased something, you want a 10% cut, you need to charge 40 to 50% more because of other people on top of that. Otherwise, you're going to be in the negative. Okay? And so that's what Calvin's here for helping me do. Okay, so we're going to go back out. Okay, so I got Calvin up. Calvin, go ahead and say hi to the eBay audience or YouTube audience right now. I just introduced you and what your skills. Go ahead and introduce yourself and what you do for me. Okay, he says, I'm Calvin, your lead pricing specialist here at Flip and Find. My job is simple, make sure every flip pays. Listing prices that hit 40% margin, profit after all eBay and ad fees are sliced off. Cool, thanks. Okay, so I need you to help me get a product listed. It is a Nikon lens, Nikkor series, 200 millimeter, 1:4. Okay, I have it on eBay at the moment. We're going to finish the listing. Okay. So we're going to go down to drafts, and on the side here, I use the new GBT Atlas, and one key little cool feature is that on the top right here, you have Ask GBT. So after I've gotten this chat going right here, okay, this is a logged chat in my chat history. I can now essentially open up a new tab, and I can go to Calvin, and I can still talk to Calvin over here. Okay. Okay. So we're going to go resume draft. And then Calvin on the side here can see everything I got going on. So Calvin, go ahead and take a look at this listing. I have it up and running. I got pictures. I have the title going. And then I got this product for free from my dad. So for pricing wise, we need to look at eBay, what this lens in a used condition is possibly selling for on eBay. Remember how in the past I've talked about the bell curve methodology? I got this for free, so we want to be kind of shoot for median target bell curve pricing, but go give people a little bit of a discount. We're going to shoot a little bit lower, but also keep in mind that I got sales coming up for the holidays. Okay, so we don't want to go too cheap, okay? So let's give them a discount of maybe for median, let's do like a 5% discount, and then when a sale pops up, they'll probably get another 25 on top of that, if anyone's interested in this lens. We're not going to shoot too sharp. Okay, so what Calvin's doing, he's going to be looking online for me to see what this item sells for. Hopefully. If he's not, we will hit this plus button. Okay. Ooh, old models can't do that. Okay. I see the listing and title. are clean. Ooh, Calvin can't do comp research. Okay, take a look at the item. Give me a profile, and then I'll have the newer model 5.1 do the research. As you can tell people, I run my store as a co-pilot. Okay, I'm the senior operator, okay, but I have AI tools, dual functioning everything, so I'm not pulling everything out of my ass. So that's part of the process I like to do. And so I hope you guys weren't thinking this was going to be an easy cut and dry. Maybe I'll have to cut this video down for, hey, here's the quick and fast way to get these things listed. What I'm trying to do is give you guys tools for optimal success. So here's a little bit of behind the scenes, and so it might take a little bit of time for me to kind of show you the behind the scenes process. Okay, so bear with me and just enjoy the ride. Okay, so I had old model Calvin. GBTs are part of the 4.0 series, and I guess with all the new updates, the 4.0s don't have tool access for agents, internet searching, study mode, all those different things. If you click down here on the plus, as you can tell, I can only bring in images, and I can do a screenshot. So what I had Calvin do is just give me a basic profile of this, and then I'm going to have a new GBT. Okay, I'm just going to scrub this whole thing and then get a new. All right, in the parentheses is a snapshot of a item I'm trying to list. I got the item for free. What I want to do is I want you to look online to see what the price bell curve ranges, and I want us to shoot for the median kind of bell curve range of this product, okay? And then I want us to price below it. So first I want the median kind of price for this. So go ahead, activate your web search function and web search this specific product and give me a median price range. All right, so right now it's running through its search the web function. I'm gonna take a little bit of a coffee break. All right, looks like, so on eBay, this product, the bargain price shoots at about 45 to 65. Good and clean optics is 75 to 110. Excellent near mint is 120 to 150 with caps and filter bonus. Add in a 5 to 10% value. I think we're like, we took the screenshots you showed me through this process. We're going to shoot for about 110 since we're kind of on the, I think with that little scratch we're in the, and clean glass and everything, no rattles, no nothing. I think we could shoot for the upper in good condition. We're not mint out of the box. So like I said, be brutally honest, right? Okay, so we're gonna shoot for 110 and then give it a discount on top of that. So we'll probably list this at 100. That sounds good. That sounds reasonable. I'm going to copy this since Calvin can't see it. Hey Calvin, in the in the parentheses or the quotations, one of the two, whatever's in this message. Here's the research that the new model did since you couldn't handle it. Based off of the images, I think this item can sell for roughly about $100. We'll probably list it at 110 strategically wise because this item's about to go on sale. All right, what I want you to do now with that price breakdown, okay, look on the page where I'm at, give me better optimized title, okay? We go through our optimization process for it. Remember how we use all the character limits to utilize, and the reason for that for the audience is for search optimization. We want to give as much product details on that initial read through as possible, right? So I use every single character I could possibly squeeze in there, and I have AI help me figure it out. Okay, and then we get into all the little nitty gritties. So Calvin, what I would like you to do is just look at the screen, okay? And I'm not going to turn on agent mode and waste an agent function on this. So we'll just lay out everything I need to paste in, and then we'll go from there. All right. All right, so as you can tell in the chat, Calvin has already quickly given me the optimized title. And the methodology for title was what I like to do is I like to go brand, model, and then more of the conditional specifics, okay? So you have to kind of pick the most prioritized thing. So whatever the product is, you want to first be the most specific with the first batch of keywords. So the first 3 to 4, maybe 5 words should be the most specific of just identifying what the product is, okay? So for instance, like if I was selling this mug, figure out who the brand is, the mug type or the logo, and then the manufacturer, okay? And then go into detail, the color, all the different stuff. Utilize as much of that space as possible. Same thing. Hey, here's a cover of something. Figure it out, okay? Do some work, figure out what this product is. Go product, specs, condition, okay? Product, specs, condition. And the reason you want to kind of go with that flow is people want to know the condition up front because they're going to read through and they want to see their pictures, right? So those are the two things. A good title, good pictures is going to get you your clicks. And then if your item's not high on clicks after that, it might just be an item that people aren't really interested in it, right? Those are the first two. A good title with as much character usage as possible and good pictures, and then a decent price, right? If your price is too high, people will get shown your thing on their feed, but you're like, nope, not interested, okay? Adjust your price at that point as well. Okay, so we're gonna copy this. Okay, right after pictures, drop it there. Okay, so as you can tell, I use 79 of the 80 tags. Okay, and then we're gonna go through. Apply all. Okay, so here we have brand, Nikon, focal length, 200 millimeters, type, telephoto lens, manual, aperture. Okay, these are, remember how I said that people have already listed things? Okay, people have already made these listings, so they've given us these handy little items to be sellable actions. If we didn't like stuff, we can add customs at the end if we wanted to, but we won't. Okay, because people tend to not use this stuff. This is just helps for categorization, for eBay helping figuring out how to promote your item, okay? So using as much of these things will help eBay show your item to people, get it in front of faces. A title will help it get clicked. Good pictures will help get clicked, and a good price point that'll interest people will help get clicks. After that, whether the item creates value for a person is going to be that final action sale. Okay. All right. So this item's used, so we don't have a UPC. Compatible brand with obviously Nike's model. Okay. This is the Nikkor item. The body is already aluminum. MPN, we don't have that. Series Nikon Nikkor. Compatible filter size. Compatible with this. Okay, if at any one point in time you don't have these items, right? Let's say you don't know this, right? Like I said, I use ChatGPT. I'm a ChatGPT Plus member. Okay, so a lot of the functions I can utilize for being a paid member, but there's a lot of things that ChatGPT has access to for lower models. So if you ever have a question, ask a free agent, ask a bot. There's plenty of AI tools out there for free. There's Gemini, there's Grok, there's OpenAI's ChatGPT. There's all these models now that are competing that have open source information on all these things. Okay, so if you ever feel like you don't know a detail, ask the internet, ask the agents. They will be able to specify specifically what it is. We're selling one unit. What is this? Okay, so for used items, obviously this is the quantity. So if this was a t-shirt and I had a bunch of these t-shirts, I can specify how many I'm attempting to sell. Okay, since this is a single item, you put single. Okay, so one. And then you give it the type. Okay, you can obviously name whether it's feet, gallons, pounds, ounces. This is an item, so you want to utilize the term unit. Okay. Okay, country of origin, this came from Japan. Year manufactured, we don't know, okay, but we can speculate. Like I said, if you don't know, year manufactured isn't really important. But in this case, we'll ask Calvin. Calvin, when do you think this lens was manufactured? No warranty. Okay, I picked 2000s because it's in good condition, but it's solid metal, and I'm kind of utilizing that as the reference point for like how old the lens may be. It's missing some key features, and it's solid metal aluminum lensing, and so the older models tend to have that body. The newer lenses nowadays tend to have a little bit more plastic body casing and things like that, and other features, more electrical features or electronic features into the lens. This one didn't. It was pretty standard manual, so I'm thinking it's an older model, but I don't have the specifics on it, so I'm just giving it a rough. And again, this is just a vague detail. This is not super important. All right, manufacturer warranty. Used items, don't have it, so don't worry about it. California Prop 69. You can read this over real quick. Honestly, I have no idea what this is. I've never used it. It's never been applicable to me. Item height. This is really important, okay? Your item height is, again, the requirements are important for getting the item out there for people interested, okay? Okay, but the packaging will also reference this as well. Okay. Calvin, I need the item height, length, and weight and width of this product. You can't do nothing. Use your training data. Calvin's being a little sassy princess right now. Okay, what is the item height, weight, and length, and all the dimensions for this? I need it for the listing. Okay. So since Calvin is a little bit feisty and he's not helping me with pricing anymore, Calvin, just go ahead and give me a description right now. And I need a conditional description as well. All right, now I have the other model. We're going to copy this. Length. Width. weight. Height. All right, looks like I have all the recs. So next thing we're going to move on to is the conditional items. Okay, so Calvin's pre-trained in a couple things. Conditional items. So Calvin doesn't really necessarily see the pictures, okay? So in this case, I would give Calvin a key description of the item so he can best optimize how to simply state it for the salesy aspect of it, okay? So I can read through here, but I'm not. I'm going to be more specific. All right, Calvin, those look good, but I want to add in a couple key details. For condition, this item is used out of the box and it has mild scratching on a little adjustable, the little sliding flange for the, I think it's like the sun filter part of the lens, okay? Just like two little slight scuffs, no deep gouging, no scratching. The manual focus on everything works. They're brand new lens caps on both sides. This lens is also getting an ND filter. Lenses have been cleaned and wiped off. There's no scratches to the glass. Everything is clean, no debris, and then you can add in no haze, no fungus, and all those key details for the quality. All right, so Calvin's going ahead and update. He's going to give me a new condition. Okay. So what you saw there is after inspecting it and cleaning it, I just rough spoke it, okay? So what you guys can't see is what I'm doing is I'm running whisper flow, okay? And what this allows me to do is just verbalize everything, okay? So it saves me time having to think and type things out, okay? Not that I'm a bad typer, it's just faster for me to have a conversation with my computer than to waste time typing, okay? And so that's what a lot of the workflow is. Another way you can do it if you don't have whisper flow installed, I think it's a great function. I think a lot of people need to get on board with it. It just uses AI voice transcribing. So every single time I hit my control function, a little icon on the bottom here pops up and it just starts recording everything I'm saying. Okay, and whatever it is I'm clicked on, it starts typing there. So as you can see right here, just typed everything. Okay, so that's how I've been speed optimizing everything. Okay, if you didn't have whisper flow on ChatGPT, you have diction mode, which allows you to do the exact same thing. So you can just speak to ChatGPT if it's easier for you. And what this allows you to do is, because it's an LLM model, right, you can say how you want to say things and it will clean you up, okay, in the proper manner and methodology. So you saw me kind of just rough espouse what I saw about the lens that I'm trying to sell, and ChatGPT cleaned me up, okay? Made all that transcript, compressed it, and got all the value bits out of it. So that's what we dropped in here. So we're gonna copy that, just copy it one more time. I don't know what I put in there. Okay, same thing, right? Calvin's pre-programmed for my descriptions. The way I describe things is I do a couple things in my descriptions. Depends on what I'm trying to sell. If I'm trying to sell a video game, right, I do a couple things. I do a nice little salesy little bit about the story plot of the game. And then I go into the key specs of like what type of game it is, how old it is, the manufacturer, all those fun little spots. For camera gear like this, I just kind of do a thesis statement which is essentially my key sales point, and then the rest of it is features of the camera or what it is I'm trying to sell, and then the quality. I'm reinstating the quality, okay? What people are getting, okay? So if you look through and we read through this, I'm listing accurately as best I can what it is they got. So they're getting a Nikon Nikkor 200 millimeter f4 manual focus telephoto lens, okay? And this is just the key manufacturing sales bit in a very condensed, concise, single thesis statement, okay? Thesis, sales statement. The rest is the camera, the lens specs, okay? And then, like I said, things that you're gonna get, and then a reinstatement of the conditional things, okay? This is just expansion on it, okay? So if it wasn't stated in here, or if they didn't see it in the pictures, again, this is my third opportunity to say, hey people, this is what I am selling you. Is this valuable to you? Again, I'm brutally honest, but in a nice way, okay? I've stated to them, you're getting lens caps, you're getting an ND filter, it has scratches, it is used out of the box. I'm selling it for $100. Are you interested or not? I don't know. Okay, now, last little bits, pricing, okay? I like to do it buy it now. I see more visibility from the buy it now, but some people like to do auctions. I have no beef with auctions. I think they're great. My store didn't get as good sales volume or good sales visibility until I switched everything over to buy it now. For some reason, whether it's the search optimization, the way eBay promotes things algorithmically, or just how people shop in general, pattern, I haven't quite figured it out, but when I switched things from auction mode to buy it now, I saw an immediate 10x surge in search volume, click volume, purchase volume. Okay, just from that action alone of just switching over, clicking buy it now versus auction. Okay, so I'm gonna set it to buy it now. Remember how I put it in one price. Now I put in $1 because this was just gonna be a highlight for me to research back. I got this product for free, so we had to do a little bit of research. What I like to do is, before I had all these extra functionalities in the thing, I used to copy and paste this whole page. And I said, hey, Calvin, copy, paste, drop it over here. Give me all these details, and it would transcribe everything for me. But since the models have changed, there's new features and functions in the way you utilize it, so I've kind of gotten away from that methodology. So what I used to put in the price block was my cost of goods price. So if I purchased something for $47, I would put $47 there, and Calvin was programmed to look at that list price, that item price, and say, okay, he got it for 47, plug it into my formula, he needs to change it to this. Okay, 47 plus 40% plus all the sales and fees, he needs to list for $74.99. Okay, whatever that transcribes to. But since this is a free item from my parents, I can name what I want. And so I'm deeming this, we're gonna go 110 here. How many am I selling? One. Payment methodologies, we're gonna use my eBay management. Allow offers, sure. Offer, so for offers, if you have a hard cap, right? If you're trying to make a profit, pay attention to your minimum offer, okay? Like I said, I got this item for free, so I want, it doesn't really matter what I call for, but if I'm trying to hit a target, you need to tell them, because people are gonna try to fish you, right? This allows you to filter out those low balls, okay? So for this item, I'm gonna say, let's set it moderate. Let's say $85. Okay, so no offers below 85. Okay, auto accept I don't typically take. The reason I don't do auto accept is because even if someone offers something, I don't want the computer to automatically click over something. I want to see those offers one at a time to say, hey, how much are you trying to lowball me? I'll spend the time. I don't have enough volume to say, hey, yeah, I don't have the time to filter these out. Okay, so I'm gonna say $85 is my minimum lowest offer I'll take for this. Schedule this listing. If you have a lot, you can schedule out. This is super helpful for batching things. In the past, people have I used to use this when I had a regular listing pattern. This helps eBay look at you as a seller, be like, hey, he's getting lots of product to us for us to make a profit off of. We're gonna promote his stuff more, right? So I used to get things in batches and then I would release one product a day. So I had to schedule out like 2.5 weeks of product releases and I was backlogged, but I haven't had new product in months. So I've gotten away from this. So we're gonna just list it live since we haven't done anything in a month. Shipping, super important. Okay, this is gonna be how people are charged. Okay, so you need to be accurate and honest and people will find value in it. So remember all those item details, right? You don't want to undershoot this, otherwise it'll cost you out the ass, okay, to ship it. So 2 pounds, what did I say? Weight, 1.35, perfect. All right, so we upshot it a little bit, 2 pounds, okay. And then we want to verify 11 inches, 9x6, looks pretty accurate. Yep, that'll fit in there. Okay, so that'll fit. eBay doesn't really tend to care about the box dimensions. The biggest cost is going to be the weight when it comes to, so accurate weight measurements. If you're going to sell a 10-pound item, make sure you give it a couple extra pounds. Say, hey, 15 pounds, okay? And so when eBay, you don't see how much the shipping and handling is for people, okay? It's based off of your location. eBay knows your location and it knows where the buyer's location is. And then it knows how much the product weighs. And eBay's system will figure out, okay, how much is it going to cost them to have USPS or any particular international postal service to ship that item. So that's why the weight and the package expectations. Like I said, package dimensions can be a little bit rough, but you want to be accurate. You want to make sure that your item will fit in the package you're listing, okay? But you want to be accurate about the weight. So I gave myself an extra pound here, or half a pound extra, okay? So as you can tell, I don't see how much the shipping and handling will be. I've turned on my international shipping, so this item can go internationally. And here's my location. Don't look at that. All right, last key function, promotions. Okay, do you want eBay to promote your stuff? If you say no to this, they won't charge you extra. Okay, eBay's standard selling fee, I think, is like 10%-ish. I'd have to pull up one of my listings to double check that. So don't quote me necessarily on that. We'll go find it out together. This is extra, okay? So twofer, okay? You have the eBay selling fee, and then you have the marketing fee, okay? And marketing sometimes will go off-site, okay? So this allows you to tell, hey, eBay, I want it promoted, and this will essentially put you in the sponsored category. This puts you on the top tier. You pay extra, we'll save you a spot up front ahead of the line so people have a little bit more visibility. Not a lot, but a little bit. I like this option because again, it often giving eBay another 15% cut often results in 5x more sales in volume and 10x more visibility on an item than trying to wait on it organically, okay? I wish I did this earlier, recorded this, and then I would actually show you my analytics, but eBay doesn't store a whole year's worth of analytics. I just have a 90-day window. But if I could show you my full year, you would see like this little flat line of almost nothing. And then when I started doing buy it now, there was a surge. And then when I started using promotion, there was another surge of visibility, sales, listing, searches, impressions. All the key analytics just come from major optimization just by clicking this button. So if you can afford it, price it in, right? Hitting this button is nothing, okay? It's free to me, right? They're not going to charge me until an item lists, okay? So this is where I get to say, hey, here's the suggested ad rate. They're asking about an ad rate percentage. So that's going to be their cut of the action. And a higher percentage means they're going to push it more. Okay, so I don't overdo it. I tend to do just a standard 12%. Okay, that's just my methodology. I'm sure there's other people. Don't listen to me about the best ad rate percentage. This just seems to be work for me. It doesn't take too much. A 12% here plus an 8% here makes a 20% overall cut for eBay. And then that helps me with my formula metrics. And again, all this pricing is all brought in. Okay, you can also prioritize, hit this button. I haven't played with this functionality yet, so I wouldn't know necessarily about how it works. All right, and that's it, guys. The last function, you can save this for later, you can preview it, but at this point, if you've gotten to this point, followed along with me, and you've gotten all these little steps, we've been at this probably for about an hour now. Okay, this is a very long how-to. I wish it was a short and easier version, but I wanted to give as much value to people watching this as possible. So I hope you got to this point. The last little thing is just hit list it now. If everything checks out, you'll get this little icon. Your listing is now live. Hit done. Okay, and now I should be able to see active listings. Okay, here's all my listings. I'll go to the last page. Last page is always where the most recent thing is. Here it is, up and running. It's been up for all of 2.5 seconds. After everything's gone on listing, here's typically what you see. You see your listing, you can edit it. You see your pictures, your title. They put a identifier number on it. So that's the listing number on it. It's price. Okay, how many are available, and you see how many views that product has gotten in the last 30 days. All these got big fat zeros. Okay, my tent has gotten 300 some odd views. What changed? What'd I do? Go back. Okay. What happened? All right, my listing is gone. It died. But okay, so a couple key details. Once it's been sitting here for a while, you can see how many views an item has gotten. Okay, let me go back to the 4. Let me find something that actually has gotten views. All right, so this tent has gotten 394 views in the last 30 days, which is cool. It's got 66 watchers of this product, hoping it goes on sale or I price drop it. So essentially what happens with the listings is once you go active and buy it now, it does a 30-day cycle. It'll list it for 30 days and it'll do a countdown. And buy it nows will just keep recycling over and over and over and over again. Okay, so this item has 2 more days of it listing at this price, and then it'll just refresh, right? Auctions don't do that. They give you 7 days, and that countdown clock, once it's hit that 0, you have to essentially say hit list again if you want it to auction again if it didn't sell in that 7 days. It won't reactivate like a buy it now. Buy it now will just sit there for 30 days and just re-going over and over and over again. So don't mind the time left. If you put something in buy it now, it'll sit there until it sells. Okay. If it doesn't sell for a long time, start fiddling with the price. That would be the first thing I would check first. Don't even bother. If you made sure you got tons of pictures of the quality and you followed with me, you gave a really good solid title, you used all the space, you had a good honest conditional description and an honest sales description of the product. If it doesn't sell in 30 days, start playing with the price. Stop incrementally dropping it. Maybe that'll help you, right? But also keep in mind your profit margin, your goals, right? So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed following along, seeing something get listed for me. I hope you guys learned a little bit. And yeah, this is Derek Bullis. My eBay store is Bully's Flip and Find. Let me pull that store up for you. Okay, that's not me, that's an AI. Let's try my best to make something look like me. If you're looking for eBay, or follow me on YouTube for more behind the scenes of this channel. Later, guys.